Guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's have a chitty chat, a little chitty chat. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about Candiace Dillard Bassett from Real Housewives of Potomac. I honestly wasn't going to do this video, but as I've been thinking about it, I was like, why not? You know what I mean? The video, or what we're going to be chatting about, is it time for Candiace to leave? In my opinion, I think yes. And I'm trying to figure out, will the Lisa Rinna effect happen to Candiace? So let's get into it, y'all. So like I said in the intro, I said, is it time for Candiace to leave? And I meant, is it time for her to leave Real Housewives of Potomac? And I think yes. After this Twitter thread that I'm going to read to you, and trigger warning because it does talk about SA. And I watched a video from Erica De Niro where she also did a breakdown of the Essence article. She did a video on the Essence article, and she posed a question in that article where she said to people who are still watching Potomac, because she's not watching or reviewing it anymore, where she spoke about how, are you watching this show because you like the show, or are you watching the show because it's an all-black cast and you're just doing it out of obligation? And that made me start thinking. And then I watched other people's video, like Riding the Voice, Really BTV. You know, I told y'all I watched Jamie That's Me's video on it, and Scotty's, By Nature TV's video. And I was just like, And then I saw a picture of Lisa Rinna. And then it really got the wheels in my head turning, where I'm like, yeah, it's time for her to go. And I wonder if the Lisa Rinna effect will happen to Candiace. So first, let's read this Twitter thread of Candiace, and then I'll get into my thoughts about the Lisa Rinna effect and this thread. Now, I'll tell you, as I'm reading this thread, I'm going to give my thoughts. It's about maybe 4 or 5 series of pictures of her thread. So let's go. It says, it's triggering to watch a woman who accused someone of SA speaking about SA. I'm tired. I'm actually very tired. A thread. She said, full context, I haven't seen the episode yet, but I saw the clip of some of us speaking about our personal experiences with SA. I'm grateful to those in our friend group who were courageous enough to share their story. First off, none of them women on that show, Wendy and Karen included, are your friends, Candiace. At this point, you should have just said castmates, because a lot of them just merely tolerate your presence and existence. They do not like you. They actually have conspired and have intentionally done things to hurt you. So stop calling them your friends. It continues. It says, I also read some of your comments, and as horrifying and embarrassing and frightening as it can be to talk about your experience, I'm grateful that based on the comments that I have read, that shattering the silence can liberate some of you. It's also liberating for me to know that I'm not an alien in my personal story of what happened to me. So thank you. So if you don't know why she used the term shattering the silence, is the last event on Real Housewives of Potomac was a PAVED event. PAVED is a national organization that is geared to shattering the silence of those who have been silenced by their experience with SA. So a lot of the ladies, unfortunately, shared with us last episode that they had experienced. Candiace told us that she experienced it by way of not even understanding what happened to her until she got older. Robin told us that she couldn't give her consent to what happened to her when she was a teenager. Ashley spoke about how it happened to her by the hands of a family member. And then Mia let us know that it happened to her as well. And then we know since I want to say like season 2 or 3, that Karen let us know that she was accosted as well. And she is an ambassador of PAVE. So Candiace goes on to say, people who manipulate words and blatantly misuse the English language to insinuate that someone essayed them is criminal. And we know she's talking about Giselle. She said, he made me go into the hotel room. Yet another iteration of essay insinuations that she would now sit and speak as if she is an advocate for SA. Awareness is morally corrupt and criminal. I am triggered. I am tired. And I am not allowing it to slide or slip through the cracks. #RHOP. Now, that was Candiace's thread. And here's what I have to say. I think this is important for her to express how she feels, especially with someone who has dealt with SA. But I wish she would not have done this thread, because now it's people in her comments and people making think pieces saying that she is exploiting what happened to her, that she's dragging it, that that's not what happened, and she is using her experience against Giselle. I just wish she wouldn't have done that, because I feel like it's probably re-triggering or re-traumatizing her all at once. I think she did have a right to express how she felt, but I just don't think this was the right way to do it, because they already used Twitter against Candiace, and it's like you're giving them more ammo. People really don't like Candiace. A lot of people that like Candiace now only like her out of their disdain for Giselle, and the reason, and because Candiace is in opposition with Giselle. Now, Candiace does have die-hard candy cane fans, okay? She really does. I follow a couple of them on Twitter, okay? A couple of them are my mutuals. They've been to her concerts. They have pictures with her. They rock with Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett. So she does have actual fans, but I think a large portion of those fans don't really like her, because a lot of them were telling her to shut up. People I saw on All True T's page, where I got this from, were in the comments saying this ain't it, she's wrong, she should have never conflated the two, basically saying that she's dragging it. And I just think that, like, this may not have been the way, because I guarantee you when we get to the reunion, Giselle is going to use this thread to say, see, that's why I didn't speak to her, because she uses Twitter to accost us, to be hateful, to use the fans at us as a weapon. Robin gonna be in the amen section saying she agree, and then Candiace is going to be on there on the reunion upset, feeling like she's not, like, justifying in her feelings, and that she's being silenced. And it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be an utter mess. And the thing about it is people don't like Candiace, and as much as people say, well, I don't like her because of her personality, that I can give you that, but y'all, it's some of y'all with that venom and vitriol that y'all have towards Candiace that is rooted in colorism. You don't like the fact that she's a small, petite woman that somewhat looks like she looks younger than what she is. She has a small frame. She's dark skinned or brown skinned. She comes from money. She's very smart with and very calculated with her words. And you feel as though she's brattish. So anytime she brings up something, y'all try to sun her and tell her to shut up and she's a child and this and that. And it's funny because y'all used to love to use, well, like, your mom's still paying for everything. Girl, why is that a bad thing? That's not a bad thing when our other counterparts do it all the time. But y'all use that as a dig to her to say that she's not a woman, she's a little girl. So it's like, y'all, anytime she says something, people are always dedicated to not understanding her. And that's mainly why I was like, yeah, girl, this thread probably wasn't the case. She probably would have been better doing a video, getting her feelings out, rather than using Twitter, because they're already using Twitter against you as a collective. And I promise you, like I said, Giselle, Ashley, and I can see Karen siding with them, because Karen is not her friend. Karen just don't want to be labeled a colorist, because Karen has shown throughout this season that she is siding with the OGs. You saw the way they were sitting at that table in Austin, and yes, Karen spoke up for Candiace, but ultimately when all them women came back to the table, Karen pretty much ignored the conversation Wendy and Candiace were having at the end of the table, while them girls was twerking on her and dancing on her. And then you have her at the paved event talking about, me and Giselle can always find our way back to each other because we don't cut to the white meat. Yes, you do. You told that lady she was a broke down whore from Hampton with a fiery box. You said she was a whore, she was broken or broke down and had STDs, because that's what a fiery box means. That's cutting someone to the white meat. Giselle made fun of your legal, like, tax situations with Ray, and then said you were a liar, co-signed that you was out here cheating on your man with a man named Blue Eyes, your husband. Then also was saying Sharice wasn't a liar about you in the bathroom doing things with people. That's not cutting people to the white meat. Giselle and Karen have an alliance. They're always going to stick together. So at the end of the day, none of these people really rock with Candiace. And I promise you, when the reunion comes, they all going to be against her, mainly because of this thread. Mainly because of this thread. Because Karen going to be like, I didn't like how you took such an important event and made it this. They going to play in that lady face. They're going to play in her face. Effect. And the reason why I bring up Lisa Rinna is because ever since Lisa Rinna left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, honestly, we know she got fired. But I'm going to say she left, since they want to say she resigned, but that lady got fired. But ever since she left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the show's been doing very well. People actually like the vibe of it now because it's not very cliquey. It just seems like a group of people trying to get to know each other. Like, we know there's like cliques in the group, but it's not a clear-cut line like we see on Potomac. But people have been saying, like, if Giselle leaves, we'll probably have the Lisa Rinna effect. And I believe that too. But I don't think they're ever going to get rid of Giselle. So I feel like Candiace should leave. And I was like, it might be a positive, and the Lisa Rinna effect might help her. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at Lisa Rinna now that she's not on this show, things have been looking up for her. She was on she was on American Horror Story, their last season. I ain't watched that season, and I normally watch American Horror Story, but I wasn't interested in this Rosemary Baby retelling story. I didn't want to watch that. But she was in that. She looked good. The clip I saw of her, she looked good. She acted well. Then I've seen that she's been on several red carpets. She also did a spread for Cosmopolitan because she just turned 60, and she looked good in that. Like, things have been looking up ever since she has detached herself from Beverly Hills. Because after a while, people didn't know Lisa Rinna for the actress, for the lady being on QVC, for being in cameos in the 90s and in the early 2000s. They just knew her for being obnoxious, insufferable, a bully, being a part of Fox Force 5, ruining her 5-year friendship. No, her 20-year friendship with Denise Richards, and her being the Own It lady. And her being Harry Hamlin's wife. Other than that, people were not talking about Lisa Rinna in a very positive light. But ever since she hasn't been a part of that, she's been doing well and been taken more seriously in her career that I think it would happen to Candiace. Because Candiace has her music, she's been on several shows. I think if she wasn't a part of this, she would be better. Like, things would really happen for her. But I know it's scary to leave a Bravo show, because I think in the back of her mind, she probably is thinking, like, if I'm not a part of this show, I may lose my visibility. Because we can't lie, even though the ratings on Potomac aren't good, that's still a lot of people watching the show. And you have tapped into a network that is Bravo, that has garnered a fan base that is different. Like, it hits different demographics, where you can garner a really good fan base. And I think she's scared of losing that. But I think if she would just step back and be like, you know what, it's time. These people don't like me. I don't feel good when I'm around them. I'm always on edge. I'm always ready to fight. It's not a good space for me. That she would probably do way better. And it is scary to let go. Like, it is terrifying to let go, because you genuinely don't know what's going to happen next. Like, you're hoping that if you let go, better things are coming. But there is that bit of fear of it might not happen. And that can always be what keeps you in that place. But I think if she leaves, the Lisa Rinna effect actually will happen to her in a very positive way. Like, I really do think it will help her, and her star may rise even higher than this show. Because right now, I just think people see her as one way, as being the whiny, bratty girl that always brings up colorism and has outbursts on Twitter and things of that nature. It has a slick mouth. But I think if she got away from this show, she would be doing so much better. Way better. But do I think the show would do better? No. Because then we would just have a show of people trying to beat up Giselle's ass and be her friend. And Giselle is mediocre. So it wouldn't do good. But I think she would be great without this show. I also think that this Essence magazine, might have done these people in. Okay, might have done the show in. Now, a lot of y'all are gonna be like, well, Leah, it's Essence. Don't nobody, like, you can't even buy Essence in the grocery store. No one reads Essence. Yeah, but Essence name still holds weight, y'all. It still holds weight. On top of that, we have to always remember that us as millennials and Gen Z, because I know millennials and Gen Z, we sometimes can morph into each other. We may watch this show, but we don't make up the whole entire demographic. The people that watch this show, I think, is like Gen X, Gen Y, and boomers. Like, they are the vast majority of the demographic that watches, like, Beverly, like, that watch these shows, because these are their counterparts. We're not. Like, you know, like, we enjoy this show because we watch it with, like, I bet you a lot of us, our first introduction to Real Housewives was because our mom and dad were watching it, or your older siblings or cousins or your aunts or your uncles or whatever were watching this show. You didn't outright just watch this show and go to Bravo, unless you was just that kid. But that is their demographic, and Essence holds weight for them. And a lot of people online were agreeing with Essence and are actually saying, you know what, this is ringing bells in their mind to be like, maybe I don't need to watch this show no more. Because there's already a lot of people who are like, they're not watching this show as it is already. So I feel like this might be it. And it's like, if Candiace disassociates herself from a show that is now being known for colorism and xenophobia and SA allegations, because we can't all put it on Giselle. We got the pasty demon that is Michael Darby. The last thing we're going to talk about is Erica De Niro's question, where she pretty much said, are you watching Potomac because you like it, or are you watching it out of obligation because it's an all black cast? And I kind of like thought about it when I was listening to her video, and then as I was preparing for this video, I was like, I think it's both for me. I think, yes, I'm watching it because it's an all black cast, but I don't feel obligated. I think part of me is because I truly enjoyed this show when it first came out. Like, I've been watching Potomac since season 1, and unfortunately, it's nose diving into the gutter. It actually is already in the gutter, and it's just getting further down there. But I think what sucks is, like, as a minority viewer or as a black viewer, because I know other minorities feel the same way, when we're given reality shows or shows in general, even if it's crappy, there's a part of you that feels obligated to watch it, because you know that if there's not enough eyes or not enough people talking about it online, you won't get another iteration of the show, or there won't be other content like that for you, because networks always give us that BS statement of, well, you know, y'all weren't watching it, so we didn't invest in it, or, you know, it wasn't enough people watching it, and so we didn't think y'all wanted to watch it, which is a lie, because there's been plenty of shows that we've watched that have gotten better views than other shows on Bravo and even other networks that have like a fully black cast or a fully minority cast, and y'all scrap it, and y'all never give us a reason why we're not watching it anymore, or why we don't get to see it anymore. First up, Family Karma. Why was that canceled? Why was it put on pause? Like, I always saw positive things about Family Karma. I even enjoyed Family Karma because it was a different group of people that I was watching that I don't have that much knowledge about, and I enjoyed watching their show. I liked the integration of their families, and we had the moms having their little spats and their beefs. I liked the friend group. It didn't make sense why they canceled it, but they did, but they had good ratings. And then you think about Potomac, and it's like a part of the fandom does feel like, well, we gotta watch it because it's our girls, it's the black girls. But people are sick of watching this show because it's no longer good anymore. It's not entertaining. And I do think with this Essence magazine, it probably is the nail in the coffin for a lot of people, because it's like, they put words to how people were truly feeling about the show. And I do think if there isn't a shakeup for season 9, them ratings are going to be in the trash. them ratings are going to be in the trash. And what's interesting is I wonder if they're going to get the same shakeup that Atlanta is getting right now. Because if you haven't seen, a lot of people, there's been several clips of people asking Kandi and Sheree, like, hey, what's going on with Atlanta? We ain't heard nothing back from y'all. And Kandi is like, pretty much they haven't gotten their contracts. They don't know who filming or what's happening. Same thing with Sheree. Sheree did an interview and she was saying she hopes she get asked back. So it seems like Atlanta's getting a shakeup. I don't know if that's going to happen to Potomac. It also seems like Eric might have actually gotten fired. Who knows? I did the drama video on that, but people have now come out and done other videos and saying that no, he did get fired. Others are saying he didn't get fired. None of us know, but I feel as though one of these things has to give, or both of them has to give. Either Potomac needs to like scrap this whole entire cast and we start anew. Like, and the thing is, if they got rid of the cast, the only person I can see coming back is Karen, because she is a prominent figure in Potomac and is like one of the the fan favorite, and they can build a cast around Karen or add people to go back and forth with Karen, or they just need to get rid of this whole entire cast, or we just need to get rid of production and have the same cast with production that's going to force these women to actually show up to work and actually engage and get to the root of their situations and actually find resolve, or get new production, new cast, and we just move on. But who truly knows? Who truly knows? I don't know. I just feel as though after this season, I might have to put Potomac on pause. And like I did with Jersey, it might have to happen with Potomac, because I am thinking, like, am I watching this out of obligation? Because I don't find that much enjoyment out of it, especially when I compare it to when I watch Beverly Hills, Miami, and Salt Lake. Like, I just watched Salt Lake this morning and I was giggling and kikiing the whole way through. I haven't laughed at Potomac in a while. And it's like, well, why am I watching this if I'm not enjoying it, And so I feel like I'm going to have to put them on pause the way I did, what's it called? New Jersey. Because with New Jersey, I want to say after season 7, I didn't watch 8 or 9. Like, I watched clips from time to time of it. And then eventually after I came back after Siggy left, I went back and watched seasons 8 and 9 to see why she left, and then continued to watch the series. And maybe that's what might need to happen with Potomac, because at this point, the way we are with this cast, I don't feel like we can continue, and I don't really want to continue. But yeah, y'all, those are my thoughts. So please subscribe, like the video, and definitely hop down in them comments below and let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's time for Candiace to leave? Do you think she'll have the Lisa Rinna effect? Are you going to watch season 9, or have you stopped watching the show? Just let me know below. But as always, remember to be bravely authentic, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.